Welcome to another unboxing, or in this case, more of an unbagging, as this is a small format, kind of print-on-demand type game from High Flying Dice Games. Actually, there are two of them. I'm going to go over two of them because they're of the same campaign and the same time in history. So these games today that we're going to take a look at, the first is Kekionga, A Dark and Bloody Battleground, 1790, designed by Paul Rohrbaugh and published by High Flying Dice Games. The second game that we'll take a look at is St. Clair's Folly, Battle of the Wabash River in 1791. And both of these games are a part of their Old Northwest Territory series, which focuses on, in essence, the time period of following the conclusion of the Revolutionary War into the early to mid 1790s, as the fledgling United States continued to go west as a part of Manifest Destiny and butted up against Native American tribes who had feared this for a long time and had resisted without force until this point, where they felt like they were backed up against the wall and had no other option but to attack or ambush and try to keep out by force the Americans as they came to the west. So both of these games take place in Ohio, in the area around Cincinnati, or the Old Northwest Territory, where these Indian tribes or Native American tribes lived at that time. I have been fascinated by these games for a couple of reasons. They are kind of a, once again, print-on-demand from a small operation. High Flying Dice does a lot of really cool designs. Paul Rohrbaugh is, I believe, innovative. He does kind of use the same system across his many games, but it works. It works for the games, the mechanics he's chosen. There's some card drafting in this. It is a hex encounter war game. We're going to move units around, but it works, and he does a great job. He teamed with a wonderful artist, Niels Johansson, who you can see. I really enjoy the art in this game. You can check that out. Those are fantastic. Actually, the art was what drew me to the game, as well as the time period. But these are small. I believe both of these games retail for $11.95. You can add, I think, $5 to get, and I'll show you here, $5 to get the upgraded cards. But you can play this game. Sorry, it bumped the camera stand. You can play this game simply with a normal deck of cards. You can see you're going to have to remove certain cards, as you only use numbers, but those numbers drive what activations you have. We'll check those out here in a moment, but they're really well done. So let's focus on Kekionga first. The game came to me in a kind of a folio thing. There's the counters. They're really cool, by the way, but you can see this is just a you might want to buy a binder to put these in, but we'll leave the counters there. They're fantastic. But here's the cover, and it's just printed on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. In it, there are some addendum. As of October 2017, these did come out last summer in 2017. Just some minor corrections in the setup and some of the rules there, so you'll want to hang on to that. We'll go ahead and look at the map. Very well done map. It's on cardstock, and it actually is very colorful. I really enjoy the color template used. I'm gonna bend that back just a little bit, and I'm totally okay with this. Obviously, it's not a mounted map, but you can put a piece of plexi over top of that, and it's going to play very well. Once again, beautiful relief. You can actually see the trees, the river, the different types. These are cornfields, the different types of relief used there. Here are the camps there. This is Kekionga, which was one of the main central hubs of the Native American tribes at that time, and the U.S. was going in there to destroy them. Really great looking map, though. I really like it. Here are the counters, and you're going to have to do, this is going to be an arts and crafts project. But I am telling you, look at the quality of those counters. I love the art. Very, very simple. There are different types of units there. You have some Miami Indians. You have some warriors. Really very, very cool. I wanted you to focus on the two leader tokens there, Little Turtle and Blue Jacket. Those are two historical leaders that were included in the design and are used to influence different things. These are disrupted markers. And then here are the U.S. regulars at the top. Their leaders, Hall and Willis. But you can see the different types of units. VP markers, administrative turn counters, morale markers, etc. Turn over to the back side. There's a routed marker, and then kind of the reduced sides of those different units. So that's all you got. You got about 30 or 40 counters. They're double-sided. You're going to have to do, like I said, an arts and crafts project. They're printed on thick, really thick and nice, sturdy, I don't know what I would call this, but it's counter material. These are very well done. You're going to simply need to get a straight edge, lock it down, and then have an X-Acto knife or some other cutting to try and scrape down those lines and cut these out. Then obviously clip them, and I think they'll look just fine. I have not done that yet. But there's a look at the counters. Very well done. Here's the rules. They're kind of cool. They're folded into a booklet format. Once again, I did an interview with Paul Rohrbaugh, the designer, on this. You can find that on our blog. But he does a really good job of creating a simplified system that is playable and can play really quickly. In this game is going to play in 40 to 45 minutes. You can see the game has up to 8 turns, and there are various victory conditions. Here is a look at the random events table. He always inserts historically significant random events. You're going to do a random event check as you go throughout the game. Roll a die, consult this table, and then you'll figure out what happens. But very simple. There are cavalry units in this game for the U.S. They have, I don't think they have cannon in this one, but I think in the other one they do. But there are some examples of play. There's a look at setup, how you're supposed to do that. You can see there's militia, cavalry, and then various leaders that you're going to set up. So that's kind of cool. The game is very simple. I've read these rules. I need to just do, once again, my arts and crafts project so I can get this to the table. So that's Kekionga, a dark and bloody battleground. So this is the first battle in this time of history. Now we're going to take a look at the second version of this game. This one, once again, St. Clair's Folly. Love the art. Really enjoy the look of those Native Americans. I think those are very, very well done by Niels. And I'd love to see Paul use him more on games, as I just think he did a fantastic job on this. So St. Clair's Folly is fought on a similar sized map made out of the same type of hard legal sized paper. I think this is 11 by 17, I want to say. But looks really great. You can see this is a wintry or winter style setup. You can see the same relief. I'll go ahead and pull that up here. The same relief for the terrain. Great looking woods and trees. You have some trails and the river there. The Wabash River. So very, very well done. Also, you can see the colors. This is where various units or unit types are going to come as they come onto the board. You have to bring them in on these hexes if they're the gray. Same style of rules. St. Clair's Folly comes in a rules booklet like that. I'm going to go ahead and put that there. There's a couple of errata and addendum. But you can see here is the counter sheet for this version of the game. Same style of counters. Really love those Indian Braves. You can see there's a couple different leaders: Mad Sturgeon, Little Turtle, Wapaco, Igushwa. And then you have Delaware, Potawatomi, Ojibwa, Shawnee, and Miami, Wyandotte, Mingos. So lots of different Indian tribes here. So what happened is they destroyed, the U.S. really put a hurting on them at Kekionga. They regrouped, they gathered together, the different First Nations, and tried to fight back. Here again are some routed counters. There you can see a look at the artillery or cannons that the U.S. now has. You can also see there are troops from Maryland and New Jersey. Different leader designations and names there. You have Clark, Truman, St. Clair, Butler, and Oldham, Wilkinson, and Gaither. Really nice. There are outpost markers. These can be used as defense. And then there are ammo counters as well. Victory points, various administrative counters, disrupted markers. There in the middle, I wanted to point out Simon Girty. Simon Girty was actually an American who abandoned his country in essence and took up with the Native Americans. Kind of reminds me of Lieutenant Dunbar in Dances with Wolves, but became, I think he married a Native American woman, lived with them, fought with them, and I think that's great. There you see a surprise counter. There's the turn marker. Really like these. Can't say it enough. They're really well done, but this is also an arts and crafts project. You're going to have to spend a little time cutting these out, clipping them so that this game can be played. So there's kind of a look at two of these games. First off, Kekionga, a dark and bloody battleground, and then St. Clair's Folly, the Battle of the Wabash River from High Flying Dice Games. These retail for $11.95. You can also upgrade them. I already showed you previously the upgraded cards. But these are great little folio games. I have them in a kind of a magazine holder. I have about a dozen or 15 of these type folio pack-in magazine type games. They play 40 to 45 minutes. They're fairly simple rules, and they're fun. So there's a look at those games. Nice job on the art and the components there, Paul. I personally would love to play these games over and over again to feel for the historical side of it and see if the Native Americans can do better than their historical counterparts. I think that's cool. I also, if I were buying these games, I would pay about $10 to $12 more if I could get upgraded components. Although these are very, once again, counters are fantastic, but maybe a little more upgraded cover sheet. I think the rules format is cool. But I'd check these games out on the High Flying Dice Games website and check them out if you like them. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and like it. If you enjoy our channel, please subscribe. And then if you're more interested in what we do as far as our written blog, you can check that out at thePlayersaid.com, where we have more in-depth reviews, action points, strategy articles, and playthroughs and AARs, etc. So thanks for watching. I want to thank Paul Rohrbaugh for over the last couple of years, the various interviews he's given me. And I appreciate his commitment to history. And thank you, Paul. Just wanted to thank you for that. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.